We are joined now by Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker, a member of the Biden-Harris Campaign National Advisory Board. Governor Pritzker, thank you for joining us. As I understand it, you're going to be in Iowa tomorrow speaking on behalf of the Biden campaign, and I believe even colder than Chicago. So tell me, what's your message tomorrow in Iowa?
Well, it's minus 29 here,
okay.
So I'm not sure how much colder it'll be in Iowa, but I'll be there. Look, here's the important thing for people to recognize, that putting all the polls aside, the truth of the matter is this is going to be won among independents. And independents understand that, as Democrats do, that it's the Republicans that are trying to take your freedoms away. It's the Republicans that are trying to take away your Social Security and your Medicare. It's the Republicans that are basically fighting against the working families of America. And it's Joe Biden who has been lifting up the economy. We now have incomes above inflation. Inflation is coming down significantly. Things are getting better in this country. And over the course of an election year, as the economy continues to improve, you're going to see poll numbers improve too.
Well, let me ask you about those numbers, because they aren't improving. In fact, they seem to be going in the other direction. Our poll this morning has Biden's approval rating at 33%. That's historically low for him, low for an incumbent president. It's at 15 years since we've seen numbers that low. And on the economy, it's even actually worse. Only 31% say that they approve of Biden's handling of the economy. How does he turn that around?
Well, I will say I think your poll is a bit of an outlier, but here's what I'll tell you. This battle hasn't even been joined yet. You've got a bunch of Republicans, MAGA Republicans, espousing things that are not good for the American public that are on the stage now. And not until they choose a nominee will we truly be in this battle. And then it's a choice. It's a choice, again, between two visions for America. And Joe Biden has proven that he's the one standing up for working families. He's the one standing up for the rights that people view as fundamental in their lives, their voting rights, their reproductive rights, human rights. And so I really believe that this hasn't seen the day yet where you've got a true contrast between a Republican on one side and a Democrat on the other.
I mean, obviously, aside from the issues and where people think the economy is, you have the question of the president's age. I mean, it's just there in poll after poll, not just ours. Our poll, in fact, said 28%, just 28% think that President Biden has the mental sharpness to effectively serve for another term. So how does he address those concerns, those very real concerns that voters have?
Maybe we ought to start by just acknowledging that Joe Biden has years of experience, that when you talk about someone's age, you're also talking about the wisdom that they've gained over many years and how they've demonstrated their empathy that they've learned from so many experiences. Joe Biden and Donald Trump are roughly the same age. Do you think Donald Trump has learned empathy in his life? He has not. Joe Biden has demonstrated it at every turn. Think about what he's accomplished across the aisle because of his years of experience, not in a partisan fashion, but a bipartisan fashion, getting a serious bill passed to improve our infrastructure across the nation, to make sure to create jobs and bring manufacturing back to the United States. That's what he's done. And again, working with Republicans. The majorities that he's gotten have had Republicans and Democrats voting together. That's who Joe Biden is, and that's what age and experience brings.
Is it your expectation that he'll be running against Trump?
The polls certainly show that. If you look at the average of all the polls out there, it doesn't look good for the people who are running against Donald Trump. Having said that, I think that whatever happens in Iowa tomorrow will be somewhat determinative of who gets to move on to the states beyond Iowa. And so we'll see. I think this battle is going to go on for perhaps another month or two before there is really a clear frontrunner that's been established by actual voters going to the polls.
And what do you make of this effort to keep him off the ballot, citing the 14th Amendment, ban on insurrectionists running? Obviously you have Colorado, you have Maine, there's a movement in Illinois to do the same thing. Is that something Democrats should be doing, or should they be focused on, the campaign?
Well, it's not just Democrats doing it, but let's face it, this is going to go to the Supreme Court. They're the ones who are ultimately going to make the decision here, and we'll all abide by that decision.
And there's an interesting issue in Illinois. You've got this this pledge that candidates have been asked to sign. It's a voluntary pledge, but it's saying that you will not advocate for overthrowing the government. It actually has its roots in the McCarthy era. But candidates have been signing this, for decades. Biden signed it. We've learned that President Trump has not signed it. What do you make of that? He's not signing a pledge that he won't participate in the overthrow of the government.
Isn't that telling? That says all you need to know about Donald Trump. That, truthfully, what Joe Biden has been saying about Donald Trump not really believing in democracy, having Joe Biden call out the fact that Donald Trump is saying that he'll be a dictator, whether it's one day or his entire term, nobody really knows. But the reality is that his not signing that pledge is just another indicator of Donald Trump not wanting to abide by the Constitution of the United States of America. And we just can't afford to have a president who is acting in unconstitutional fashion and in his own self-interest.
Well, one thing we've seen throughout this primary process is Trump has refused to debate. Do you expect that, assuming he is the nominee, are we going to see debates in the fall?
I would think so. I mean, I have not seen a presidential election in my lifetime where there wasn't at least one debate between the two candidates. So I think we're going to see that. But the debate is ongoing, as you know. And once a nominee is chosen on the Republican side, once again, I think you're going to start to see the real contrast, whether there's a debate or two in the fall. Every day you're going to see the contrast between these two visions for a future for the American people, and it's Joe Biden that really stands with working families. And
we don't have much time left, but what one issue that is clearly hurting Democrats is the situation at the border. A recent CBS poll found that 68% disapprove of the president's handling. Whatever you think of that, there's clearly a problem at the border. I know you have advocated for stronger action from the federal government on dealing with this crisis. How does the president address this going forward?
Well, we need the Congress to act. There is discussion right now about comprehensive immigration reform, about border security, and this can be handled right now. They could vote on this and make sure that we're actually dealing with it. But, Democrats have been at the table for decades now wanting immigration reform. Republicans have refused. So finally, they're at least in discussion. My hope is that they'll get something done. But not enough has been done. There's no doubt about that. And I think that the president needs to do more. The Congress needs to do more. Cities out here that are the target of this political game that Governor Abbott is playing are suffering. And here in Illinois, it's minus 29 degrees outside with the wind chill. We have migrants that arrive from Texas virtually every day, hundreds, and we don't have places to put them. We don't have enough shelter space here. There are plenty of other cities where, if he's going to send people, they could be sent. But no, he's choosing only Democratic states, Democratic cities. And when we've asked him to stop sending people because of the weather, because of the dangerous nature of this winter storm that we're experiencing now, he's refused to stop sending them. So he does not care about people. He doesn't care about the migrants. He doesn't care about the fact that they're going to suffer if they're sent to certainly the upper Midwest, as he is doing now.
All right, Governor J.B. Pritzker of Illinois, thank you for joining us.
Thank you very much, Jonathan.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.